3 children and 3 teachers killed in a shooting at a grade school in Nashville, Tennessee.
We know at this point that this shooter is a female. She appears to be in her teens, although her identification has not been confirmed at this juncture. We know that she was armed with at least 2 assault-type rifles and a handgun.
Officials confirmed that the suspect was also released, but they were not able to provide details about a possible motive or her connection to the school. The shooting took place at the Covenant School, a private Christian institution that teaches students pre-K through 6th grade.
Okay guys, listen up. This is some very heartbreaking news. Just giving a warning that I am going to be talking about some very sensitive topics. Approximately around an hour ago, a gunman opened fire at the Covenant. It's a Christian private school here in Nashville. And unfortunately, 3 children did not make it. And the gunman was overall killed by the police. Overall, this is just really sad. It's very heartbreaking. Please have your prayers out for these families here. And if I have...
Yes, welcome back. This is sad news. I came across this recently. Breaking: White House blamed Republican following Nashville school shooting. Press Secretary Karine says how many more children have to be murdered before Republicans in Congress will step up and act to pass the assault weapons ban to close loopholes in our background. That is what she said. Just few hours this happened. The blame game is already going on.
I'm Don Aaron with the Nashville Police Department. I'm going to give you a law enforcement overview of what's happened this morning. With me is Kendra Loney from the Nashville Fire Department, who will talk about the fire department's actions in regard to this morning's call. This is going to be a brief update as to what has occurred. There will be more from this spot later in the morning with Chief John Drake and others. At 10:13 this morning, the police department received a call of an active shooter inside Covenant School, Covenant Presbyterian Church. The police department response was swift. Officers entered the first story of the school, began clearing it. They heard shots coming from the second level. They immediately went to the gunfire. When the officers got to the second level, they saw a shooter, a female, who was firing. The officers engaged her. She was fatally shot by responding police officers. There was a 5-member team who was on the second floor at that time. 2 individuals from that 5-member team opened fire on the shooter.
And I have seen this on Twitter training. Ban assault rifle, not TikTok. Ban assault rifle, not books. Ban assault rifle, not voting right. Ban assault rifle, not reproductive right. Ban assault rifle, not healthcare. Ban assault rifle. It just continue, just bizarre. These people always wait for this opportunity, to pass their points. I don't understand why. When something happens, immediately you will start seeing this person. This is the cause. You are the cause. Pointing fingers. Focus to comfort the families of the bereaved before you can pass out a political point. It is a problem happening every single day. If any shooting happened today, Democrat will point fingers. Let me read this out so you can understand exactly what is going on. At least 3 children passed away. The shooter also passed away in Nashville school shooting. The incident took place at Covenant School, Covenant Presbyterian Church on Broughton Hills. Police said student reunification with parents is at Woodmount Baptist Church. That is according to this tweet. And the kind of things I'm seeing on social media is totally disturbing. I have reported similar videos like this
about what is known so far. We want to express the President's appreciation for the first responders and prayers for all the families affected by this shooting. While we don't know yet all the details in this latest tragic shooting, we know that too often our schools and communities are being devastated by gun violence. Schools should be safe spaces for our kids to grow and learn, and for our educators to teach. As you all know, President Biden has taken more action than any president in history on gun safety, from nearly two dozen actions, including the executive order he just signed last month, or this month, pardon me, to the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act legislation he signed into law after the tragedies in Uvalde and Buffalo. He also believed it's not enough. We must do more, and he wants Congress to act, because enough is enough. In his State of the Union, the president called on Congress to do something to stop the epidemic of gun violence, tearing families apart, tearing communities apart. How many more children have to be murdered before Republicans in Congress will step up and act to pass the assault weapons ban, to close loopholes in our background check system, or to require the safe storage of guns? We need to do something. Once again, the president calls on Congress to do something before another child is senselessly killed in a preventable act of gun violence. Again, we need to do something. I also wanted to...
When you take a look at what is going on here, it is actually a sad news, and she elaborating into topics like school should be a safe space is actually a call for concern. There are many situations where I've seen a lot of people actually calling up that this should not be happening in schools. They don't focus on that. When it concerns what they want, they will call that out. I understand, and nobody is actually watching that this should happen. What I expect to hear from these people is simple: word of sympathies, to the families. When something has happened, when you always try to always pass political points immediately, it is what I don't understand. You coming out, Republicans, rejecting to do this. Let me say this clearly. Even if they ban this today, you will get up the next morning, you will see similar situations, because there are people that are having this. I don't even want to go into how they get it. Through illegal ways, people will still have this. So it is something that can need to be taken extremely, will still not solve the problem. I believe that banning assault weapon will actually solve the issue, though a lot of people still believe that it can be. What actually motivated a young lady to just get up and do an act like this? Sometimes I really wonder what is happening. Like I said, people have mental issues. A lot of young youth are suffering from mental problems, and parents don't realize this can be an issue.